The Roman soldier is the first person you encounter with the peace, and with his gesture and his expression, he's basically saying this is a restricted area. He brings you into the peace, and it is the start of the whole experience of the Stations of the Cross. Next, we're going to talk about Pontius Pilate. You can see here his expression, and his whole body is one that's in a pensive state. His fingers are fumbling with a coin that has the face of Caesar on it. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Next, in the background, you can see there's many different scenes going on. You have Barabbas being brought out in chains. You have the water basin being brought out. And this kind of brings the sequential play of the Gospels using these figures. The distant background scenes in the sculpture will have parables and symbolic little events happening that people can see. Here you have a house built on rock, and you have another house built on sand with a storm of wind coming, blowing the house of sand down as the house on the rock stands. At this scene in the Bible, it wasn't just one or two people, it was a massive crowd, an angry crowd. And so here I have probably around 100 different figures. A lot of them are expressing rage, some are expressing sorrow. Within the mix, you have Mary being comforted by John. With these Stations of the Cross, the figures are going to appear more than once. Here you have Pontius Pilate writing on the parchment, Jesus, King of the Jews. You'll also have a father giving a son a snake and a stone. More symbolic references to the Bible. Over here you have John being pushed back from a guard. Below him, you have Mary reaching out to Jesus, held back by another man. On the top of the pillars will be an angel symbolically doing something that's associated with the scene in the foreground. Here you have an angel taking up a cross. The sky will change throughout the different stations. The mood of the scenes will be represented within the sky. It will get darker and more dramatic as the project continues. The sculptures are going to get more intense as they develop. This is sculpture number 3, or station number 3. There you have Christ being smashed down on the ground, very raw, very intense, and very painful. These Stations of the Cross project will show scenes, many different scenes. Here you have the 2 thieves that will be crucified beside Christ, being prepped and tortured before they take their cross. Although a lot of the figures are engaged and angry and participating in the scene with Jesus, there's everyday scenes happening, mixed in with parables. Here you have the straight and narrow gate going to the tree of life. Here's a scene that most people won't easily at first understand, but there's a toothless man pulling out the tooth of another man. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.